Right, so a lot of people currently are a bit upset with how Sparking Zero is doing. They thought it was going to be the newest, greatest Dragon Ball game. It came out, had a lot of players, and now it's got no one left. So I just want to talk about the state of Sparking Zero, what's going on, why everyone is like saying the game is shit. So let's get into it. So just starting off, the number one thing that I see like almost every single person complain about is people rage quitting. It's people like disconnecting their Ethernet cable or doing whatever they're doing to rage quit so fast. I don't even know the mechanic on how people rage quit so fast. They just close the game or something, Alt F4. But whatever they're doing, it's pissing people off. And I myself, I've not really found that a lot of people are rage quitting, especially in my games. I live stream the game almost daily. Come watch my live streams, boys. I would appreciate it. But yeah, I've live streamed the game since it came out pretty much daily, and I've had about 60 to maybe 70 matches online, and I've got about a 93% win rate. Because I'm sick. But I've literally only had like one rage quitter, which you might see in this video. I think you will later on. He might come up. He'll just leave the game. And there needs to be a punishment. There needs to be a punishment for rage quitting. If someone doesn't complete a match or doesn't complete a number of matches in a row, and the devs can see that they're rage quitting, they need to be punished. They get banned for half an hour. They get banned for an hour. They get banned for 2 hours. If they constantly do it, they get banned for the day. Like, that needs to be implemented into the game. Like, some sort of punishment mechanic needs to be implemented in the game, because the rage quitting is not fun for anyone, really. I don't even know why players rage quit. Like, if I see someone spamming a certain mechanic in the game, or spamming an ultimate, or spamming something, my main thing in my brain is not to rage quit. It's to punish them. It's to punish them so hard and defeat them with an underpowered character just to make them know that they're shit. Like, they're absolutely shit at the game and they should not be playing. Like, that's what's inside me. But inside other people, they get a kick out of rage quitting and destroying the game for everyone. They're just destroying the fun for everyone. And people will do that. They will abuse the system. As with any system, they will abuse the system and try and come out on top. That's just how people work, unfortunately. Humans are awful. That's just the way it is. We can try and be above it by not rage quitting, by trying our very best, but the devs need to help us and implement a punishment mechanic for the rage quitting. So I'm just going to put that out there. That's like my main point for this video. The devs need to address the rage quitting in this game. There needs to be a punishment. The second thing that I want from Sparking Zero, and I see a lot of complaints about, is the matchmaking, bro. If you're not doing ranked, which a lot of people are, just spamming ranked over and over and over again, because that's the only way to really play the game is ranked, because the unranked matchmaking is trash. It's so bad. You create a room, someone's waiting in that room and they're not going to ready up, or you'll join a room and they'll just be sitting there for 5 years and not ready up. Basically, the menu system is trash, is what I'm trying to get at. So the menus and the user interface, yeah, it is. So the UI needs work in this game, bro. The UI needs work in this game. They need to make it more streamlined. Rank and unranked should have the same sort of matchmaking. There just should be 2 different types of game modes. You should literally just be able to press one button, go into unranked queue, or you should go into a ranked queue. And hopefully that will alleviate some of the frustration that people are having of constantly spamming ranked. If you constantly play any game, COD, Sparking Zero, any game, constantly, like, if you play it, you are going to get frustrated with how that game works. It's just, I think any gamer knows this. Like, if you play a game from the start of your day to the end of your day for the next 500 days, you will begin to start hating that game. As with anything in life, when it's new, when it's fresh, everyone wants to play it, and then as it gets older, they start seeing the problems and they fall off. Now, moving on, players are very, very upset with how certain characters act in this game. And I just want to say, the game is still in its early infancy, right? The game it's been about a month since the game has come out. And the only patch that the devs have released is the Yajirobe nerf. And I think that's a good thing. Like, they saw that people were spamming Yajirobe to an extent that was like too much. They saw that he was overpowered, and they changed his mechanics. They changed the sense of being to 6 skill counts. They changed his health bar, and I think Yajirobe is significantly nerfed now, to the point where I see very few people using him, if any. And I think I think that's a good thing because the devs have addressed an issue with the game. Once again, the game is still in its infancy, has plenty of other issues that they need to address as well. But because they are addressing them, I think that's a win point. If we just give the devs some time, they'll be able to address the issues. Like, let's just give it some time. Let's see what the next few patches release. Let's see what the upcoming content is like. Give it time. If you're frustrated with Sparking Zero right now, the best thing you can do is just walk away, bro. Walk away from the game. Breathe and play something else. Play something else. I'm playing a lot of COD recently because Sparking Zero came out, and that wasn't because I was frustrated with Sparking Zero. It's just because the boys were playing COD and I couldn't play the game with the boys. Another concern / complaint I'm seeing of this game is that the player base has fallen off. I believe on Steam when the game first came out, the first week, it was averaging about 120,000 players or something like that, and now currently there's about 20,000 players just on Steam playing the game. So there's a significant drop-off, but that's true with any game. Like, any game you look at, later down the line, the player base will drop off, and then when they release DLC, it will start climbing back up again, and then it will drop off. Like, a game will have peaks and troughs. Like, it'll drop and it'll peak when there's different stuff added to the game, when there's a different patch added to the game. People will lose interest. It's just the way humans work. It could be for a number of reasons. They could have picked up the game and seen that it's not for them. They are frustrated with how the matchmaking works. They hate the UI. There could be so many reasons why people aren't playing the game. I just think we should be patient, though, and not say because like a significant number of players have dropped off, as with almost every single game that comes out. In reality, like, all games don't have like a significant player base for a decade. Like, they drop off. There's peaks and troughs. Black Myth Wukong, great game, came out, had a massive player base. Who's playing it now? Absolutely no one. Why? Because people have moved on. People have decided to play something else. Like, there's many reasons, but I think the player base falling off isn't or shouldn't be something that we should critique the game for. That's what happens with any game, especially any fighting game as well. Like, fighting games are known for having significant drop-offs after their release. Now, this is just like a personal pet peeve of mine. I see a lot of people complaining that they're just fighting the same characters over and over again. UI Goku, Kefla, Gogeta, just some of the cheap characters in the game. I'm always fighting them. And then the follow-up question I usually ask is, are you playing singles or are you playing team battles? And usually the answer is I'm playing singles. And I don't see why. Why are people playing single matches in Sparking Zero? They're too short. They are too short to understand your opponent, to like see how their playstyle is. For me anyway, they're too short. I can't understand what the guy's gonna do in the first 2 minutes. Like, he could spam an ulti twice and I'm dead, and the match could literally be like 30 seconds long. In team battles, I think you have the opportunity to analyze your opponent more closely because you've got a significant more amount of time to adapt to their playstyle. And I feel like if more people played team battles, there would be less frustration in the game. And I don't see people spamming the same characters in team battles. I've probably only fought UI and Gogeta maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times in online ranked in team battles. And I think the reason for that is they just simply aren't as powerful as having another 2 or 3 characters in your back pocket. Like, they just aren't. Like, especially in my playstyle, when I see someone getting damaged or low health, I switch them out. They heal a little bit, they get a little bit of health back, and then I go in with another character. And because I've played already with one character, I know what this opponent is doing now. I've realized that they're spamming ultis, they're spamming key blasts, maybe they're holding perception too long, maybe they're blocking low all the time. So I'll adapt. I'll start hitting with top heavy strikes. I'll start keeping the battle super close. Maybe use a revenge counter here and there to stop the vanish wars and keep the battle close so they can't get instant sparking. There's mechanics in the game that you can use and not get frustrated with how other players are playing. Like, if there's a cheap mechanic in the game, people are going to use it. It's just how humans work. They do the cheap stuff and they get a kick out of it. They're probably laughing to themselves when they pull off a cheap stunt. Because how certain people are playing, it's just increasing the toxic levels of this game to such a high degree, bro. There's so much toxicity. I open YouTube up and I see several videos about Sparking Zero being dead. This player is awful because he spams key blasts. People sending rude messages to other people and just saying you're trash. Oh my god, you spam key blasts. I don't even know why people are doing that. Just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the game. Honest to God, the people are taking this too seriously. If you're not having fun with the game, best thing you can do is walk away and come back at a later point when you've like calmed down a little bit. I'm not saying like an hour or two, I'm saying a week or two. Like take a week or two off from the game and come back and you will have so much more fun with it. With any game, if you spam the game every single day for the next few weeks, you will begin to hate the game. I'm currently at that point almost with Call of Duty. Like I've been playing a lot of COD with the boys. They want to play it every single night after work. And I'm at the point where it's the same, like, same thing we're doing every night. We're playing a bit of zombies, we're playing a bit of multiplayer, we're ranking up on the card, we're ranking up our levels. Woohoo, it's great. But I'm getting a little burnt out on it. And the same thing can be said for Sparking Zero. If you're constantly playing ranked, if you're constantly going up against Gogeta, UI, Goku, you just need to stop playing the game. That's it. Like, literally just, you have so much power by stop playing the game. Your mental health will be better. You won't start hating the game for what it is. And then you can come back at a later date and enjoy the game again. Now, there is a lot of controversy about certain characters and how they have really overpowered skills. So UI Goku can go instant sparking, Kefla can go instant sparking, I think Gogeta can do it as well. I'm not sure, I've never really played SSJ for Gogeta. But there's just like certain skills in the game that make people pissed off at the game. I do think the devs need to address it, so maybe at a later date there should be some sort of key sickness mechanic that's added into the game if you spam like 3 ultis in a row and you're doing nothing else. Like the character should vomit in the game or something, or just like not be able to use an ulti. Hopefully the devs can add that. But at the same time, I think the players should like try and adapt more as well. If they're going to go instant sparking, keep the fight as close as you can. Don't let them. Don't let them go instant sparking. Like, there are mechanics in the game, revenge counter, super counter, like all these things that are in the game that you can try and keep the fight up close and just not let them go instant sparking. Once again, people will do the cheap stuff in games. They will try and abuse the system to try and come out on top. That's just how people work. And I feel like, as a player, in my eyes, if I'm getting owned by someone doing the exact same thing over and over again, it's my fault because I'm not adapting to what they're doing, even though they're making it super obvious what they're gonna do. That's how I see it, but a lot of people might see that differently. Bro, how is there no crossplay in this game? How? It's just super healthy for a game to have crossplay. 1, you can play with friends on a different platform. That's such a big thing. 2, the player base can connect with other people on different platforms and it will make faster matchmaking happen. Like, there's such good reasons to have crossplay involved in games nowadays. COD's done such a good job of it. Like, my mates play on PC, I play on PS5. I can't believe, like, how seamless it works. Like, crossplay should be a thing in all games nowadays. It just should. Sparking Zero needs crossplay, and I hope at a later date they do add it in. I just don't understand why they didn't add it in. Like, there's literally no reason that they shouldn't have added it in this game, and I feel like from a dev standpoint, it's a bit lazy that they didn't add it in. I do think Sparking Zero could have used a bit more time in the oven for features like crossplay, cleaning out the UI in the game, the user interface, making it more streamlined, making matchmaking faster. I do think the game did need a little bit more time in the oven, but now that it's out, all I can hope for is that the devs address these issues. Another thing I just want to add before I end the video is, if you are super frustrated with the game, try and play with a friend or two. Maybe go in a Facebook group, see if you just want to have some fun matches with someone else. Have voice chat, because then you can just like have a back and forth with someone that you're having a match with, because it's a lot more fun if you can talk to someone and have a match with them at the same time. Honest to God, some of the matches I've had with my mate Mosab, who plays this game with me, is some of the most fun I've ever had in the game. I can't stop laughing at some of the stuff we're doing. If we want to have a beam clash, we can organize that. Like, it's just play with your mates, because you can just goof around, and I think that's where this game shines the most, is when you're just goofing around with your friends. I wish I had more friends that could actually play this game, but unfortunately I do not. And then lastly, just to finish off this video, I just want to say that something I do want from this game are more arenas, more costumes, and then one big thing that I don't think people talk about a lot is I want to be able to like swap out skills. Like, if I'm using Goku End, I want him to have the ability to use Kaioken in base. Like, I just want to swap out skills. I want maybe I want the Super Saiyan Goku and Goku N to have the Angry Kamehameha. I just wish you could swap out skills. I'm not saying you should be able to swap out like After Image Strike and stuff because those are too OP. But like the Ki Blasts and like the super moves, I wish you could swap out, and I wish they add that mechanic in later, as well with more arenas and more costumes for the characters. Like, that's definitely needed. And as the game will release more DLC, people will come back, and hopefully they can update some of the stuff I've mentioned. But anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like the video because it'll help it get out there, and I shall see you all next time.